since I have done a live with you guys on here for a craft crate, and I'm really excited because I've really missed this. So I know I was talking to you about that last month, but I think we're going to go ahead and have to do at least one of the projects live each month because I just miss your faces and getting together with you guys. So we were having some issues with the coordinate sign video. Sometimes it's playing for you, sometimes it's cutting off, and it's like shutting off and corrupting at the same place for everyone. So I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and re-record it because that's dumb. So here we are. Luckily, I have one more sign that I still haven't done. So my mom has been very patient. So this is like the perfect timing. I already had everything ready to go. I just haven't done it yet. So it works. So basically, you will want to have your blank wood sign for your coordinate sign. I actually have already painted this. So that'll kind of save a little bit of time for us, but it was already done because I had planned to do this a while back. So, you know, sometimes things actually work out. I chose to do, and here's mine. So I chose to do mine with like a nautical navy blue and kind of a lighter blue, kind of like just a beachy color. So those are the colors that we're going to go ahead and do it. I also have my stencil here. My transfer tape is really big. And I have another stencil that is stuck to the back. It was a whole heaping mess, so I'm hoping that it's actually going to work out. If not, I'm back to square one with it and we'll have to figure something out. But I'm hopeful it's going to be all good. So I'm going to get started now with, the other thing I have are, I do have my grungy sponge. I know mine's grungy, yours shouldn't be so grungy. And then these are actually like the inside of the circle part of the sponge, like waste nothing, right? But they're actually great little pieces, and we still love to use them. So basically I am going to, because I'm not going to reuse any part of this stencil, I am going to go ahead and peel the entire thing off. Now, if you would choose to, if you wanted to reuse your stencil, you absolutely could do that. And what you want to do is, let me just go ahead and pull it off so that you can see it, and I think a better visual versus me talking about it. So when I am going to peel this off, I don't mind if the big letters are going to come off, like the north and west, because I am going to pull those off. But I do need to have the name, like the family name, and also the city name to stay down, because we are going to basically use like a reverse weave on that. We are using it as basically a sticker. And I am going to struggle just a little bit, so you'll kind of have to bear with me because I had a royal mess on my hands with the stencil getting stuck to another stencil and pulling up. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. So get to watch me struggle tonight. So W just was insisting on coming off, but I hope y'all have been enjoying making this month's craft crate. I can't wait to see the outcome of them. I know we've seen a couple, but I totally am in shock because I know how busy of a time it's been for so many of you guys between, you know, end of the year at school, graduations, weddings, we've had babies, we've had so many things happening lately, vacations and all. So it's kind of just one of those times that is the nice thing about these craft crates is you can just follow along and do them whenever it suits you. And I I really hope, like tomorrow, it may be a total washout here with this storm. We've got, what is it, Elsa? Is that her name? I think it's Elsa. Coming through, and I have a feeling it's going to be a little wet. So why not stay home and stay safe if you can and do some crafting. So the paper parts is where the stencil really got stuck on the back side of another one. So I'm just going to peel these pieces off, and oops, I think I'm going to need that. So I got to piecemeal it back together in one section. Hopefully it will be okay. That would be a big bummer if not, but it happens. It happens. It was an accident. Okay, so you stay there, mister. All right, so here is my stencil. The North and NW both came off, and a couple of the other letters, which is fine because I'm going to read them anyway. So if you guys are on with me though, let me know and say hello. I've missed you guys. Try to say hey to those of you who have been stopping by. So basically I am just going to eyeball where this stencil is going to go. You should have a little tiny bit of space, maybe a quarter of an inch. That might be giving it more than it deserves. And on the top and the bottom, I really sanded this unevenly, so all right. I think we're good. Thought I had a ruler, but I did see it did become a weapon. Hi Ashley, how are you? I hope you liked your Moyoc sign. Did you see I was actually going to use the stencil for something else, and I left it upright, and then it got stuck to the back side of this one. Mess, mess, mess. So hopefully it's going to be good. Okay, so I'm just going to push this down really good, and now I'm going to work on peeling my transfer tape off, and I'm just going to roll it back on top of itself, and there we go. Any pieces that don't want to stay down, just kind of like push them back down and push them back onto the wood, and then just kind of roll it off. Definitely have to piecemeal that part right there. I'm going to get back to it. Oh, that's what I don't have. I don't have a weeding tool. Kept looking and looking, and I was like, well, what is it that I'm forgetting? I was in the middle of getting dinner done and all that, and I almost tried not to burn down the house while I was cooking tonight. Kind of forgot about I forgot that there was something in the oven. So I turned the oven on, and it was really hot, and we had like burnt bread in there. We got very smoky, but it's all good. There we go. Almost there. Okay. So you should be able to pull your next part that we're going to do up pretty easily and quickly. Me, on the other hand, I'm going to struggle, but that's okay. Just using my finger really good to get it down nice and sticky. Mainly just the letters, because we are only going to use or leave the letters left. The letters are going to be the only thing left behind. So basically what we're going to do is grab this piece, like the rectangular section, and we are going to leave the words behind. Now, I welded the name and the city, the words, for you, meaning that there's not an actual, like, there aren't any breaks in the letters. They should really all be connected so that it comes off in one fatal swoop. So you can absolutely reuse these pieces and have two signs in one, which is really kind of fun. And I hope that you guys will do that. So like that is, just set it to the side. Just don't forget about it. Set it upright so that you can re-stick it back down on your transfer tape if you want. Or when you finish, you could even put it back on this, the other side of this. But don't forget about it and then set something else on top of it, because this is what happens. So, it happens. So I forgot my weeding tool, which is just a little, I think I showed you guys before. You can do like the razor blade, the X-Acto or whatever, some type of it. You can even do a toothpick, anything with sharp, or do what I'm doing and just use your fingers. I'm kind of just working my way from the top down to the bottom. There we go. And once again, I'm going to grab the corner and I am just going to gently pull this off. If you don't have any interest in using this part or any pieces of the sign, then chuck it. But I think I'm going to reuse this. This is for my parents. So they're in Auburn, Washington, which is not where I grew up, but that is where we live now. I think it's about an hour away from where I grew up. It's been a really long time since I've been home, which I don't love, but it's just easier for 2 of them to travel than it is for 5 of us. So, oops. Maybe one day. Actually, we were planning to go last summer, but then you know what happened. We all know what happened last summer. Okay, so we have the 2 options of doing this. I'm going to do it the long way just so I can show you guys again. If you don't want to do it the long way, then don't worry about this, and you can, I'll tell you when you would then catch back up with me. I call this the long way only because this is kind of the way that I found when I started making signs, that it really saved me a lot of time on the back end, and not having to do a lot of touch-ups, which was like golden, because I don't really like to do touch-ups. So basically what I'm doing is I am taking my white paint and I am going over top of the area where I will be painting. So I want a good coat on here, especially the letters, because what I'm doing is I'm basically building a barrier of paint to make sure that those letters are not coming up and there's not going to be any bleeding underneath them. Bleeding meaning paint sneaking underneath them. So hopefully that makes sense. And yep, this definitely takes some extra time. It takes time to dry. It takes time, extra paint to put on. If you're doing acrylic, as I always say, you really have to let it dry. And I mean like massively let it dry. No ifs, ands, or buts about it drying all the way, or you will live in fear of your paint below lifting up. So everything that you have painted above this area, it literally comes off. Like, you know how you can kind of like, if you have maybe old nail polish, or your nail polish can kind of just like a chunk of it will roll off. I don't know if it makes any sense, or maybe that's just me because I work with my hands so much that nail polish is like pointless. But basically the paint will just like literally roll right off. Okay, so I have a pretty good coat on here. I like to dab. I feel like dabbing gives it just a little bit of a better coverage. And you want to make sure that you don't go outside of your stencil. So you don't want to go on the outside here because you will then see the line, okay? Okay, so if you guys are just joining me, I see more of you guys around here. The coordinate sign YouTube keeps glitching. I don't really know what to say. I think that basically when I received my email back, they said it looks like the file is corrupted. So, I just decided it kind of, sorry guys, made more sense to just redo it. Okay. Sorry. Freddie's traveling and is having issues with his rental car, so sometimes I can help intercept messages. Can help him, but I think he's good now. All right, so I am going to go ahead and dry this. I don't love to do it this way. I feel like it's it doesn't always work, but it does speed up the process for sure. Hey Holly, how are you? So anyway, so I'm probably just gonna remove the coordinate, the original recording, and just replace this one tonight for you guys so that you can follow along. This one will be on here, but we do have quite a few people that are not on Facebook, so for them I definitely need to get it uploaded, but ooh, that is hot, and it's actually melting my stencil. That's not good. Wowie kazowie, that was hot. It actually melted part of the stencil up here, guys. Be careful. Okay. So I feel like this is pretty good. I'm going to switch over to this paint, and this is the lighter shade. Hopefully, I actually did mix this color because I'm slap out of the color, and this is a little bit more green. I can see it's missing a little of the blue. So I mixed the Bungalow 47. I mixed the tea towel and beach cottage or beach shutter. I should have brought them in. Colors. Anyways, those two colors to mix it to become this one, because that one, the beach cottage one, is a really light blue. It's super pretty, but it doesn't really show as well as I wanted it to. And then the other one is pretty gray, and I wanted something in the middle, so that's kind of where I have. But I think I went a little bit gray with this one, but actually with my parents' coloring, this will be perfect. So not even going to chance. Usually you can just, brush or swipe or whatever you want to call, if you have your top coat, that white coat over top of your stencil. But with these little letters, because it's so small, they're so small, I struggled with that sometimes, and it took me so much longer to do a lot of the signs that finished. But I honestly, once I started to just do it the long way and do it the right way, I really had a whole lot less touching up to do. So, yep, I know this takes a little bit longer, but in the end, it's worth it. You guys have any questions while we're on here about anything else? This is the time to ask. So I'm actually getting on the main Facebook page, my main page here, and ooh, I gotta hustle at 9. Guess I should have looked at the time a little bit better than that, but that's fine, we'll be done. Because I'm excited, I have decided that I am going to have our sale. I really wanted to do a sale last month for my birthday, and honestly, it just didn't happen. I tried really hard, but life just was nuts last month, and knowing that once we finally got the dates that Freddie was leaving and some of the things that we needed to take care of and the things that I needed him to help me with so I could get ahead the best I could, I just kind of had to give up on a few things that I really wanted to do, and that being one of them. It's okay. That's okay. So I'm going to do a sale. It's kind of a flash sale at this point. It's going to be on Saturday, and I will tell you guys all the details about it when I get on it at 9, but what I will tell you, I'll give you guys the scoop on here, is I have some items that are left over. I always make a few extra items when I can. I shouldn't say always, most of the time I do. With craft crates, and so I am going to put them up for sale because I'm going to sell them because they're just taking space on my shelves, and I'm not necessarily going to add them to the entire, not something I'm going to continue to sell. Maybe a few of them I am kind of going back and forth on that, but the ones that I have currently available, I'm not. But what I'm going to do is Saturday, I'm going to go live with you guys, and the items will be live and available on the website for you, and you guys will receive a coupon code, and I will be live with you guys first. Then I'll go live on the main page with whatever is left over. Okay, so you guys get a discount, and basically you're like the VIPs. You guys get the discount, but the other page does not. And like I said, that'll be Saturday. There will be mainly, well, I guess what I've decided is a lot of the stuff is raw, it's DIY at this point, so there will be a price on it. Like we do the finished, there will be a price for finished and a price for DIY. So the majority of the stuff is Christmas forward, I would say. I think that's right. And yeah, I think that's right. I also have a few other things that are not craft crate items, but just, other things that I'm ready to move. And then I think that what we're going to eventually do is have a in-person sale as well. another like porch pop-up type of a deal, because those were really fun in the winter. And I wanted to do a few in the spring, but it just didn't happen. Life got busy, and the weather wasn't always. The weather, I don't know. The weather on weekends here lately has not. It's been kind of sketch. So, but we'll eventually get back to one. I know I've had a lot of people messaging me like, when the porch pop-ups again? And I'm like, I know. I have got to do them, but now it's also so hot. So, we'll get there. One step at a time. Okay, so we are getting there. I don't know why I'm jumping around, but I am. So once again, I am just dabbing versus sweeping the paint like you would with a brush. Typically, I get more coverage that way. And so I am going for coverage. This is a little bit of a weird shape, so bear with me. All right. So, there must be major rental car issues happening. Seeing tons of messages coming through. Oh my gosh. Well, because they can't just have like a regular normal car, so they've got to have like a big truck or a Suburban that has a hitch or something on there, so to fit all this stuff. Okay. I'm just going over this slightly. I kind of left my other one, it's not perfect. It doesn't have a ton of extra coats of paint. Like you can kind of see through the white in certain areas. And as you guys know, I like it like that. Sometimes with the look that I'm going for this month's Craft Crate, I'm all over that. So, like a chunk of paint here, you do not need to be there. Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear those like bells in the background. The kids at the park behind the house, the Deep Creek Park, they have been a popular thing today. Tell you what. I'm just going to town out there. It's actually a really, really cute park if you haven't been there before. Got an awesome playground area. Okay, so I am good. I am happy with this. The color is definitely a little bit more green, but Mom will actually like that. I think she'll like that a lot. And now I'm just going to go ahead and peel it off and hope for the best. I definitely just missed a spot here. And this like the big old chunk of the 3. What was I thinking? Now I'm gonna go ahead and weed. If you don't have a weeding tool, I probably would let it just dry for a minute or two. Hold please 1 second, and let me grab mine so that I can keep moving for us. Oh, it's right here. I did have it. It was just hiding from me. Perfect. So it's just an X-Acto, and what I'm gonna do is go through and just kind of lift it underneath the stencil and pull that puppy off. So just with the very tip of it, I'm just gonna like kind of push this under and lift it up. The good thing is it really is all connected. You might have to just kind of like help it up a little bit along the way. And if it breaks off, that's okay. You just keep on going a little bit to the next section. Family is not all connected. The top of the app, as you can see, is a little bit spaced out. But I love this font. I was really excited how it turned out. I hope you guys like it too. Because I wanted cursive, I wanted simple, I wanted writing looking font, so I think we got it. I'm just gonna peel these pieces off. I'm just pushing this down and lifting up at the same time so that I'm not actually getting it in the wood, just kind of getting it in the top of the stencil. Wow, nice, that came right off. And I'm super stoked because I shouldn't say this yet. Let me hold on, hold that thought. Let me just pull the rest of it off before I say, yep, doing it the long way, the right way. I have no touch-ups to do on the smaller writing. So here it is. It's all done. And I hope that you guys too have good luck with yours. If you want to go around the edges like I did mine, you can see just on the edges of it, I have a little bit of blue, and if you would like to do that, all I did was just like touch it, kind of rub the sponge in places, dab it in some places. You guys can see that. It's just right, it's really slight. And I wasn't personally going for a lot of color. Let's see if I can turn that for you guys to see. But just kind of like what was left. What was kind of left on the sponge. As far as paint goes, so you can see it maybe a little bit around the edges. It's nothing crazy, it just gave it a little life on there. And a little rustic, a little nautical, and oops, I forgot the comma. There we are. I can't wait to see yours. And I'm excited to see the colors that you all choose. So hopefully this video is good to go. I'm going to upload it this evening, which usually takes a while. And then I will put a link for the rest of the videos in the group as well, because I think I forgot to do that, and I'm sorry. Although you do have the QR codes and it's exactly the same thing. So I'll see if I can link them for you as well. But thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys live on the other page in just a few minutes. Bye.